children belong. Welcome this part of our worshiping throng. Water, God's wood, bread, and cup, prayer and song. This is where children belong. Good morning, friends. Good morning. Good morning. Have any of you ever felt an earthquake?
Yes.
You have. I've never felt an earthquake. You have?
Yeah, I felt my finger felt like an earthquake when I put my finger on a lamp.
Oh. But yeah, well, I can see how that would feel. Yeah, but you ever felt an actual earthquake, the earth shake and move? I've never. Bradley, you're it? You're the only one that's ever felt an earthquake? I've never. What about grown-ups? Have you ever felt it? Some of you have definitely felt earthquakes. Yeah, I have not. And in fact, it's kind of amazing that we haven't. Can you guess, just guess, how many earthquakes happen every year? Now, some of them can't be felt. They're just sensed on a sensor. But how many would you guess earthquakes happen in a year on the whole earth? Just guess.
153.
153, okay. Any other guesses? Guesses? No guesses? 5,000? Let's try 500,000 earthquakes are detected every year. Now, of those 500,000, how many are actually felt? What do you guess? 10? 1,000? Grown-ups, got any guesses? How many are actually felt? 100,000. Now, how many of those that are actually felt do real damage, like maybe damage buildings, bridges? 1,000? 10,000? 100 earthquakes a year actually do damage.
Oh, that's way
Okay, and one more guess. Which state in the United States has the most earthquakes?
Vegas?
The most, that has the most earthquakes? Utah? Kansas? Texas? I thought for sure you all were going to say California, because that was my first thought. Anybody have a guess? California was my first. It's not California. That was my first guess. Alaska.
Okay.
Alaska has the most earthquakes, and Florida and North Dakota have the least. So if you don't want to feel an earthquake, go north or south, and you'll be good. I'm talking about earthquakes because earthquakes on Earth, the Earth is constantly moving and changing, right? Like, we're built on these tectonic plates that constantly move, they bump into each other, they shift, and that's how we feel earthquakes, and that's how earthquakes are created on the Earth. And sometimes kind of our lives are a lot like the Earth. Like, we're always changing. Are things always changing around us? And sometimes the changes are really big, like huge earthquakes, and sometimes they're like the ones that we don't feel, like maybe you changed toothpaste, or you changed your socks every morning. I mean, there's some changes that we don't even notice, right? They're just such little changes. And then there's the big changes. And we all have had the big changes, haven't we? Like, for instance, you guys are almost done with school this year, aren't you? And next year will be a whole new teacher, a whole new grade, a whole new classroom, maybe a new building. I want you to tell the grown-ups, what grade are you going into next year? What grade? Third grade? Second? First grade? First grade, Mom? Kindergarten. He's in DK. Kindergarten? Seventh. Sixth. Fifth. Who here will have to go to a new building, like a brand new building that you've never been in before? Oh, who here is a little nervous about that? Grown-ups, you know what that feels like, don't you? You remember. You're just going to move to a different part of the building. Yes. It's scary. Now, today we are celebrating graduates. They are shifting huge. They have a major earthquake, don't they? Because they're not only graduating from the school they're used to, but they might be moving to a new city. They might be starting a new job. They might be starting a new school. They have major earthquake shifts in their life. And someday, that's going to be you guys. No, thank you. Grown-ups, do you remember when you graduated high school? And do you remember that major shift in your life? New friends, maybe a new school, maybe a new city. Everything is different. But here is the promise that God gives every one of us when the earth shifts and everything in our life changes. In Hebrews, it says this: Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. He never changes. No matter what happens in our lives, he is consistently the same. He loves us the same. He's there for us the same. He is giving us peace and joy and love the same as he did yesterday, today, and tomorrow. No matter what happens in our lives, no matter what we do, everything stays the same with him. He will walk with us when the earth is shaking. He will be with us when we feel like we are unlovable and lonely. He will be there the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And that's a promise that we can hold on to forever. So we're going to head on upstairs by walking, and then we will talk a little bit more about this upstairs.